What's going on? You're here with Nate28 and this is Crossbeats Production. So first off, before I start this tutorial, I wanted to announce that I'm going to do a video in the near coming weeks about you guys, your tracks that you submit to me, and I'll get you guys to submit one track each. What I'm going to do is listen to your tracks previously, go over them, have a listen to the mix, see what I would do with the mix, and also see what I do with the master. And then I'm going to submit my comments on a video, and you guys can then review them on this video. So I feel like it's a really cool thing to do that will help you guys out. It helps you guys get somebody else listening to your mix. It also helps you guys get exposure for your music as well. And it's just something cool that I can share with you guys, and something we can do as a community as well. So I feel like that's something that you guys might enjoy, and I think I would enjoy it as well, because it'd be something cool to listen to all the different styles of music and stuff like that. So if you want to submit your music to me, I'll let you know when the date is. It'll be in the next coming weeks that I do this, so I'll give you guys at least 2 or 3 weeks to submit your music, and then I'll listen to it, and then I'll do the review video and come back to you guys with that. So hopefully this will be something cool we can do together, and let's get straight into this tutorial right now. So in this video I want to talk about multiband compression, and this is another simple secrets mixing tips video. So hopefully you guys will get something out of this video. So mainly I want to cover the multiband compressor and kind of the way it works and what you would use it for, and different techniques that people can use multiband compression. I really feel like multiband compression is kind of misunderstood when it comes to compression in general. I feel like some people don't really understand it, or if they do, they kind of don't use it in a way that really benefits them in the mix. I was the same when I first started mixing, and when I actually went back to one of my first original beats just today and just looked at it and listened to it, and I was actually kind of surprised, because some of the mixing techniques that I used, I wouldn't use them now. And I noticed that a lot of the things that I had were really harsh and bright. And what I actually might do on my next video is show you guys one of my first beats that I ever made, just to show you kind of, you know, how you can progress, and how, you know, several years in this industry can change the way you think, the way you do things, even just the way you listen to music. It can change a lot of things. But anyway, getting back to the multiband compression side of things, I want to talk about that, because basically, you know, with multiband compression, it's used on a number of different styles of music, and it's used to assist in bringing out certain things in the mix. But the way I use it is pretty much using it, well, I use it for a number of things, but in this particular mix, the way I've used it is to level the low end frequencies of the piano that I was working on. So in the particular mix that I've got a piano that I'm trying to control, and I tried to figure out how best to EQ it, you know, and how to sit it in the mix and stuff like that. The main EQ things I did, just to show you guys what's going on, is pretty much removing anything from 150 below, so high pass all the way up to about 150. And I kind of put some extra things in here that sort of just got rid of some of the dipping frequencies that I didn't really want into that 130 as well. Dipped out some of that, and also a 450 or 445 it was. But with the compressor, what I did here, and I'll just show you the compressor and show you where it peaks as well. So let me just play this instrument. Actually, I'll play the whole track to you, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So let's go right now.
Wake up, you living gateways. Lift up your heads, ageless doors.
Okay. So as you can see, there's certain frequencies that are kind of peaking over this 0 dB line, and if you guys are familiar with the line, like the level matching and things like that inside of plugins, or I should say if you're familiar with the gain structuring in plugins, because certain plugins, and for the most part even analog gear, is usually a -18 gain staging structure within the gear itself. And most of the plugins that you'll get are kind of using that -18 dB gain structuring as well, so the gain staging. So if you're looking at this, it's a 0 dB line, and most of the low end frequencies are kind of peaking over that 0 dB, which is -18. What I did to kind of level things out was pretty much I put a compressor on here and minused out about, I think it was -6 dB or so. I'll just double check again. Actually more than that, so about -9 dB in the low end frequencies. And the reason why I did this is because certain parts of the low end of that piano were affecting the way that the kick drum was sitting in the mix. It was also affecting the vocal. And I just really needed the vocal and the kick drum and I guess the drums in general to sit in the mix correctly. The piano was a secondary thing in the mix. It needed to be there, and it definitely affects the way the track sounded. But in the sense of the low end, I didn't really have to have so much of the low end in the actual track of that piano. So what I did was I removed out most of that by using a compressor, but not using any makeup gain. And compressors, you can use them to do this. So you don't have to actually put a compressor on there and, you know, compress your level and then make up the gain to make it sound louder. That's not always what a compressor has to be used for. You can use a compressor to actually minimize some of the gain, and if it's a multiband compressor, you can use it to minimize gain in a certain frequency area, which is exactly what I've done here. It's like pretty much using a compressor as a volume dial and allowing the compressor to turn down the volume for you automatically when it hits the threshold. So if you guys aren't familiar so much with multiband compressors, don't be afraid of them. Obviously don't go overboard using them as well, because some people get carried away using multiband on everything and it ends up wrecking your mix pretty quickly. I just tend to use it when I need it, and I also identified in this particular instrument that I needed to remove out some of that low end without removing too much. I mean, I did dip out some with EQ, as you can see here already, but I needed to kind of level out some to make it just sit right in the mix and keep some of the harmonics of that low end frequency, but just lowering the volume of that. I mean, you could do that with a shelf as well, but with a shelf, you're not going to have the same control, with the EQ shelf, I should say, you're not going to have the same control over the actual peaks and stuff like that as you would with a compressor. So hopefully this is a helpful tip for you guys. By the way, this plugin, it's not made anymore by Alloy, the Alloy 2, it's not made by Isotope, I should say. They stopped releasing it, but any multi-band compressor, you know, you've got your stock one in Studio One, it comes up in the list of the plugins. I don't need to actually show you guys know what it is. It's got a multi-band compressor in your stock plugins here. But if you're looking for a compressor and you're looking for, I guess, a certain technique to lower the volume on certain frequencies so you can fit in other things as well, try multiband compression. It's definitely something that might help you in your mixing potential, I guess, assistance in the mixing there. So I hope you guys liked this tutorial. If you did, remember to subscribe to the channel. Also remember to like the video. And hit me up in the comments. Like I said, as always, if you have any other questions, go down there with those, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.